Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Hope you all are doing good. So today we will discuss how to integrate ChatGPT with Google Docs. So I'm gonna show you today how I can integrate Google Docs with ChatGPT. It's very simple process. It's just few lines of code you need to write and ChatGPT would be integrated. First of all, you need an API key which is generated from a OpenAI platform. I'm going to show you how you can generate your API key from OpenAI. So let's proceed to OpenAI. So you need to visit this platform.openai.com first, and then you need to sign in. So I'm already signed in with my account. As you can see here, you need to just click on personal and you need to click on view API keys. So you would be navigated to this API keys page here where you would see I have already generated my API keys. First was generated on March 11 and the previous one was generated on March 5th. So if it is not generated for you, you need to just click on create new secret key, and then for you an API key would be generated. Then you just need to copy it and use it, right? So for me now it's generated on March 11th. Okay, so I'm gonna use this key now, whatever the code we have written. So I'm gonna use this new key whatever I have generated just right now. Okay, so in the Google Docs, I'm on the Google Docs screen, and this icon you see here, OpenAI ChatGPT. So let me clear this out first. So I want a LinkedIn post on high availability and fault tolerance. So I want to click on this OpenAI ChatGPT, and it is giving me two options, whether I can generate a blog post, and then I also can generate a LinkedIn post. So let's try to generate a blog post. It is running the app script function behind, and once it would be done, it would prompt us the correct blog post here. So it just takes few seconds to generate these actions. So once the action is generated, you can see it has given a beautiful blog post here on high availability and the fault tolerance. Okay, so you can see it here. You don't have to visit conclusion also they have given. So every time the content of here for making this video is, every time you don't have to visit the ChatGPT website and you don't have to type it like generate a blog post on high availability and fault tolerance. You can just integrate the API keys for ChatGPT. You can use the ChatGPT API generally, and then the model which they have, like GPT 3.5 model is the latest model they have, so you can use that directly along with the API key, and then you can just integrate your Google Docs with the ChatGPT API. So to integrate that, you need to go in extensions and then in the app script function. So I'll explain you the whole code whatever I have written, and also paste it here in my GitHub account. You can take a copy of it, and I'll also paste it in the description as well. So if you know the JavaScript, it's basically a simple kind of script that I have written. So it's a constant function, API key and the model. These are the constants, and this is the API key whatever I have generated from here. So you can use the same API key. If you forgot to copy, so you can generate a new key. It's very simple process as I had showed you. So you can just copy the API key here. I'm gonna copy my API key again just to show you guys. Okay, so I've copied my API key and then I'll save the project. Model is the same, GPT 3.5 Turbo is the new API model. If you haven't checked out my previous video on ChatGPT API and Whisper API model, I suggest you to check out this video. I have attached it in the I button link. So as you can see now, an onOpen function would be created. So I have created onOpen function, and it creates a menu icon OpenAI ChatGPT. So I have given the OpenAI ChatGPT name, and this menu icon would be created in a Google Docs. So if you see here, OpenAI ChatGPT would be created with these items: generate blog post and generate LinkedIn post. So as you can see here, add items are the my functions I have created: generate blog post and generate LinkedIn post. And meanwhile they have these functions as well. So if you see here, generate idea is my another function which is doing the further actions to it. So similarly I have used the doc, body, paragraphs and the selected text variables as well. So selected text variable will do these things: generate blog post on, so whatever text I will use. So suppose now I am using a text as high availability and fault tolerance, so it will use generate blog post on high availability and fault tolerance. So prompt will be my variable where it would be stored. Temperature and tokens are the ones, so these are the parameters which are defined by the ChatGPT 8 API itself only. So in temperature, it defines how much creative your text should be. So it ranges from 0 to 1, so you can also make it 0 or 1, or between 0 to 1 any value you can give it. Maximum tokens, like the how many ChatGPT API tokens you want to consume. So I guess it's like $2 for 1 million tokens they have, so you can use those. And I'm using this constant request body as well. So I need to pass this model. So this model is basically the ChatGPT, this GPT 3.5 turbo is the model which I'm using. Okay, and messages is the same. So from where I am getting this messages, role, user, content, prompt. So you want to prompt is the one which we are generating, basically generate blog post on selected test. So prompt is the one. So messages is coming from the API itself only. So if you go to this page, openai.com blog introducing ChatGPT and Whisper page where they've explained how they are using the ChatGPT API. So here if you go in the request, you'll see model they are also using GPT 3.5 turbo, and in the messages the similar type of JSON object they are using. Role, user and the content, and it's the prompt whatever we have in our app script function. Okay, so we have this prompt, so similar messages they are using. Temperature and maximum tokens is the same, we need to pass. And the request options, whatever the method we need to call, so post method we are using here. Headers, content type and authorization also would be used. Similarly it is coming from here only, authorization and the content type, whatever we need to pass our OpenAI API key as well. So we are passing here API key as well. API key is coming from whatever we have set it in the platform the window where I have showed you how you can generate your OpenAI key. So now a response would be generated in this case, and you need to fetch the API endpoint. So it's the API endpoint you need to use, api.openai.com v1 chat completion. Similarly it's also coming from this API. If you see here in the request, the curl request has this API endpoint is the similar one. Okay, and you are converting it to a JSON now, and then here the JSON is coming from choices 0 message content. So why I'm using this choices 0 message content? So similarly it's the response that I'm getting in a JSON format, and then I'm converting it to a toString format again. Okay, so this choices, message and content, why I'm using this only because as you see in the API, in the response you see this choices, okay, and you see this message and the content. So similarly we are using it over there. Okay, so it's in the JSON format only. Choices we have the choices object we have, and then we have these JSON object, message and the content as well. So similarly we are using here choices, message and then the content itself only, and then in this one we are converting this output result into the toString format. Okay, so similarly this was for a generate post function. Okay, generate ideas function, and another one which is for LinkedIn post. So here I am generate 5 LinkedIn post on selected text. So whatever text I am going to pass, so it will generate 5 LinkedIn post. Okay, so I'll save it, and then let's proceed to Google Docs again, and let's try to generate 5 LinkedIn post on high availability and fault tolerance itself only. Let's just clear this out. Let's generate a LinkedIn post. So it should generate a 5 LinkedIn post accordingly. So as you can see, it has generated a 5 LinkedIn post. Okay, so whatever message you want to pass, you need to pass it in the extension app script function itself only, then it will generate a post accordingly. Okay, so similarly it is very beneficial for the AI content writers. Whatever content you need to write, you just need to integrate with it with Google Docs. If you are new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed it yet, so I suggest you to please subscribe to my channel, because I generally post here the technical content and such that you do not miss any of the technical contents from my site.